Hello and welcome. I'm Ruth, and let's chat about books that have the word water in its title. Before I get into that, I want to kind of preface this video by saying before I had the goal of finishing a book, even if I wasn't interested in it anymore. But now I forgot where I listened to this, but I really took what that person said to heart, where you know what, it's okay to not finish a book if you interested in it anymore, because why waste your time when you can use your time doing other things? Now, on the flip side of that is, yes, even if you finish a book that you're not interested in, you're still reading, so reading is still good for you. Also, how am I supposed to review books if I'm not even finishing these books? Yes, that is true. um, I would say it's not fair. Like, I guess my review won't be fair because I didn't finish the book. However, my review will be honest. And I think two of those things can be true, right? Something can be a fair review or fair and honest review. I don't know. So that's my thinking. So this book that I didn't finish, so I was about 57% done. It's called All the Water in the World. So this book is a thriller, and it's set in New York, specifically in the Museum of Natural History. And uh, the glaciers have melted, so that's why there's just water everywhere. And Noni, her parents, and her sister have to live in this new harsh environment. Um, they took it upon themselves to really document things that's happening in the world, but also trying to preserve the history. And their number one rule that they try to live by is only use things in the museum if necessary for your survival. Otherwise, they will try to protect things in the museum. Very cool. Very cool concept, I think. And in the insert of the books, it says that this book was inspired by curators in Iraq and Leningrad, in response to protect collections during a war. So, very cool concept that the author got inspiration from. However, this book just didn't keep my interest. So I do like that the chapters are very short, like literally maybe 1 to 3 pages long. While I do like that, at the same time, I felt like because the chapters were so short, you don't really feel for the characters. You don't really develop bonds for that character. And so it was hard for me to get into the story, because it was like once you're done reading a chapter, it's like on to the next, on to the next. And to me, it didn't feel coherent and kind of like all over the place, switching from like future, I'm sorry, from present tense to past tense. So it was a little bit confusing of like, am I, in the present, or am I not? So it was confusing in that sense. And it wasn't clear with the transitions and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why it kind of it put me off guard when reading this book. Also, I felt like a nothing burger, really. Like, what was the point, in my opinion? Already I'm like halfway through the story, and I'm still kind of like, what the heck is the point? So that's also like another negative to this book here. And to be a little conspiratory, what's up with all these like books and movies about New York like flooding? That's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, yes, there's other natural disaster movies that aren't focused in New York and things like that, but it just seems conspiracy ish. This book reminds me of a combination of like a couple movies, like doomsday movies, like A Day After Tomorrow. What else? Maybe a mix of A Night at Museum, but not really funny and comical in that sense. So Waterworld, maybe, but that's like, I would say there could be a Waterworld type world in this world, like far, 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 not like in the city. But hopefully that gives you an idea of like what this book is all together. But anyways, so didn't really have a character that I liked or connected with. And so for me, this was a 1 star. Okay, so another book that I read that has water in it is called Water Moon. Already, I'm gonna let you know this book is 4 stars. Uh, the cover is very cute. On the inside, you can even fold an origami. Like the first book, this book also has 1 to 3 page long chapters. However, what this book does differently is it all connects. Like, to me, it makes sense why it was so short. But again, the story flowed and it wasn't like past, present. It was very easy to tell like where they were and why they had to go through this. So this story is about people coming to this pawn shop to pawn away their regrets, which is very cool concept as well. Because when I think of pawn shops, it doesn't ring a really good feeling, when I hear pawn shops. But this one is like you're pawning away your regrets. And the father, and this is run by a father daughter duo. And I love it because the father, he is so good with his intuition and just like reading people. And he's trying to show his daughter how to do that. And so you see this dynamic between the daughter and daughter and father. And I love it because the way they communicate with each other, very open, very encouraging. And so they go on this adventure. So I won't go into too much detail, but that's the gist of this book. So just the way it's written, the dialogue, the interactions between the characters, very mythically, whimsical, magical type world, because how do you pawn off your regrets, right? So it has to have some sort of element of like imagination and magic. So, but really love this book. I thought it flowed together, and I also like that the chapters, they titled their chapters too, in addition to numbering them. So 4 stars for me. I would recommend definitely you read Water Moon. Unfortunately for me, all the water in the world was not my favorite. So, favorite characters, the dad in the story is my favorite character, and then our dad is Toshio, and then the daughter, his name is Hannah, or Hana. So dad was my favorite character, and then the daughter as well. So, okay, those are my thoughts for those books. Would love to hear from you. Did you like this book? These books? Didn't you like these books? Who's your favorite character? Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Happy reading.